Okay, just checking. Because it was just a picture of you, like, with a robot or something.
Oh, well, I do like my robot.
You have your own robot? Bullshit.
Don't you?
What are you hugging?
What aren't I hugging?
No, no, no. Meg, what are you hugging in your profile picture?
I am hugging the thing from
All right, hold on.
there's
What? Meg frozen? Meg's frozen.
Goddamn cat.
Arrgh. All right, all right. I tweeted it. We're live. Does anybody have a doc open for notes? I'm doing finger guns.
yes.
All right, cool. So let's go over after all the deposits come in this week. Our bank account will have $2,906.83.
Woo, woo.
And we have a $37 invoice out to Dashcom, which is a convention I'll tell you guys a little bit about. That sent us a very interesting email. So this is good. We are $93.17 away from being in the black.
Yay.
So good times are had by all.
I didn't hear any of that.
What was the last thing you heard, Meg?
I heard my internet being a retard.
Oh.
We're close to paying off the loan.
Yay! Thank you. Good summary.
That's what it is. We're like $100 away from being in the black.
Less than.
Less than.
Holy shit! That's awesome.
Yeah, so that should be in a few. It's basically like 3 more orders, and we're done. And then we'll have a bunch left. So I've done a couple of things. I sent some review copies out to various places. I think I talked about this last week, maybe. Like Shut Up and Sit Down, Dice Tower. I had sent the thing out to Giant Bomb, and it showed up on their mailbag, which was really neat. I'm hoping that turns into something more, which would be something that maybe happens on Friday when they do their Friday show.
Fleshbot?
What? Oh yeah, Fleshbot. I sent a review copy to Fleshbot, which seems like they might write something about it, which would be really cool.
They're not owned by Gawker anymore, are they?
No, not anymore. They got sold to SK Entertainment or something. Some I don't know, some porn thing. So so there's that. Just hitting all the bases. I have a document with like the review contacts. Oh, I'm hoping you can still hear me. Just can't see me. Oh, there I'm back. So, just places that, like, I contacted Drive Through Reviews, which is a YouTube channel, and they were like, no, I'm too busy. But, looking out for other places like that. I sent a copy to my old best man from my wedding, Russ, who is a professional, like, professional photographer in that he owns a camera that's worth more than 8 times the value of his car. So, so he is going to take product shots of it. In fact, he's a product photographer. It's exactly what he does. So he's going to take product shots of Slash so that we can update the picture on Slash on Amazon and Fun Again Games, where the game is now available for purchase.
Sweet. Also, he lives in New York, right? 8 times more than your car is nothing. He couldn't have a car, right? He just wants.
Yes. No. I know he has a car.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, it's ridiculous. This man has more gear than I don't know. Does photography have a god? Anyway, so that, and then we had been contacted by, let's see, DashCon, which is a convention in July. It's right outside of Chicago. It is aiming to be the largest Tumblr convention in the nation. So they're saying between 3,000 and 5,000 people, which seems like a really big number, and it seems like a really big range. So they're going to have the guests there, a couple different people from like the fanfic community, but most notably is that the cast of Welcome to Night Vale is going to be there. So that's a pretty good size name. But 3,000 to 5,000 people doesn't sound huge, except it's basically 3,000 to 5,000 people of exactly the people who would buy Slash. Right? It's a hand selected audience. So I reached out to them. I got back in touch with them. And I gave them the retailer rate for to sell. I sold them games at a discount to put in their gaming library, which I think, in talking with a couple other people about it, instead of donating games, which we obviously can't really do because we're not just giving shit away. If there are conventions or stuff like that are interested in having copies of the game, the retailer rate is a huge discount and is, I think, super fair. And everyone that I've proposed it to seems it's pretty fair as well. So, anyway.
How many copies did you send?
I haven't sent it out yet. I just sent them an invoice tonight, so it's just for 2. But so if other conventions or anything like that, if they reach out to you guys about it, I think that this is a pretty good starting point for how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in the business of saying no, but at the same time, we can't just give. We have a very limited resource, and it's always going to be like this, at least for a little while. So we've got to at least break even on them, which is basically, we do a little bit better than that, but not a tremendous amount. So that was that. Oh yeah, and I reached out to the people who handle advertising for Ojoy Sex Toy, just because I got on this porn thing. Thank you. Just from who are this is not, none of this is coming out right.
Nope.
When I talked to the Circlet Press people who were the erotica writers, did I tell you about this stuff, guys?
Yes, you did.
So I'm hoping to hear back from them with something this week. But it seems like there is kind of that I want to call it is it the feminist porn sphere? That I think is actually a really good market for this game. So it might be.
And it's blown up huge.
And it's blown up. So I think Erica Mellon does a really good job, and so I'm inquiring to get ad rates and stuff like that. I also am going to inquire about ad rates for My Brother and Me, because my understanding from is that they have a pretty strong response to their ads. So, and Justin McElroy is familiar with what we've done. He knows about the product. They're very good about the way that they promote products on their show, because they're both honest about it and like entertaining. And they don't advertise crap. They're usually advertising stuff that's good. So that is something that once we kind of go past that 3,000 mark, I want to start considering using some of the funds to do advertising, especially as attention starts to trend downwards. Right now, we're seeing a tremendous amount, or we're seeing more activity than we ever have on both Games by Playdate and on /CG. A good chunk of it's coming from a number of moderately shared Tumblr posts. Stuff's coming from Twitter, but a lot of direct searches, so that's good. Mike could probably speak more about this. He sent me a little email where he was very impressed, so that's good. A lot of people downloading the game, the print and play. And I've been keeping tabs with people on Twitter, just like, whenever it gets brought up, kind of making sure that we have that communication open with them. So there's like a convention in the UK that, I don't know, there's just all people all over the place. So that's good. So that's Slash stuff. For Pack the Pack stuff, there has been a slight uptick in the people going to the site. That's because the Cards Against Humanity site, I think, fixed their links, which was really good. And there was a little bit of attention from the NPC cast that went up this morning. We're still in a bit of a holding pattern when it comes to marketing that, but I really enjoyed Meg's assessment of the tabletop deathmatch critique that she gave in terms of directing attention. I thought that was spot on. So we need to just remember that in a month or so, when we do go live with this, that we can't put all our eggs in that basket. It may not pan out. Anyway,
in what basket?
In the relying on hanging on to the coattails of the Cards Against Humanity people. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I get that, but we haven't really. But I don't know what other baskets there are.
Well, there's other ways of contacting. There's other ways of getting the message out. About the product, like you going on that podcast. That's definitely something we should do with more podcasts. We talked a little bit about putting together some prototypes that could be showable. We need to get that video and stuff up. We just need to get kind of people experiencing the product and talking about it, because just hoping that the Cards Against Humanity crew really kind of knocks it out of the park for us I think that's a bit irresponsible. We shouldn't do that. We should be prepared to go it on our own if we needed to, and be pleasantly surprised when we don't have to.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said we should be prepared to go it on our own if needed to, and then
when we don't have to what? Yeah. No, yeah. I heard that.
Okay.
I just don't. Yeah. I just don't think that's realistic.
You don't think what is realistic?
The going it on our own. I think that because this is a game that doesn't have prototypes to send, it's a very, very different type thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. That is exactly what we need to amend. Like we need to have something other than a hope that other people do the job for us or do it well. Like we should be working on how we are going to promote it, and then when they do a good job of helping promote it, that will magnify our efforts. But it's really kind of irresponsible to just be like, we're not going to do any marketing.
Yes.
Okay, so then we're on the same page about that. We need to be getting out there and thinking about that. But that brought me to recalculating all the quotes with the Panda stuff in line.
Mm-hmm.
So and I've got there's a spreadsheet that says pack quotes, and there's 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and 3,000 count orders. The acrylic tiles are available. There's wood tiles that are available from AdMagic. There are acrylic tiles that are available from AdMagic. And there are acrylic tiles that are available from Panda. There are also wood tiles available for Panda, but the first quote we got for that was not handled correctly because they thought it was a different product. So I'm still looking to see what the wood quote is for them. Their acrylic quote has a higher minimum order by like 500, but is pretty much. That's the wood one. No, that's not right. Okay, so I think the minimum order for acrylic from AdMagic is 1,000 or 2,500, right? So there's not a lot of wiggle room in there. And then the minimum order of acrylic from Panda is 1,500. Do you want the breakdown, or you just want the end result numbers?
So my question is, which one is the one though that can't print to the edge?
Nobody can print to the edge. Like on the acrylics we're supposed to be getting some samples from Panda. So that would be cool if they could. I don't think anybody can. And that, yeah. I mean, just from a manufacturing standpoint, I have a lot of trouble envisioning the physical process by which that happens. Like, I could see it on the wood ones because they're not molded. They're machined, right? So like it's a big piece of wood, and then they put a screen over it that has the ink, and then it's just cut, right? Like you would cut any other piece of wood. But the acrylic stuff is like an amalgam that you pour into a mold. And so whenever they do that, they would then need to take that out, then put whatever illustration is on top of it. So I don't think that there's a way. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there's a way to do it all the way to the edge, but I can ask. But I believe that right now both of the acrylics don't do that, and that's per discussions with Shari and my understanding of what Panda told us. That being said, the acrylic stuff has a problem in that it is not. We're assuming that we want to do a $30 pledge level, correct?
No, not necessarily.
As opposed to 35 or 40?
Right.
Okay. At the $30 pledge level, the acrylic job doesn't become feasible to do. Let me see this. So the $30 acrylic would require us to go through Panda because the price is much better by a number of dollars per unit. So like they're offering like about $3 to $4 less per unit. Now it has separate shipping costs, but the shipping costs, especially on an order as large as we would need to order to make it worthwhile, are actually not going to be that much, or not much more than you would normally see. So that like the freight and the setup and all that stuff probably.
So
costs.
if I'm looking at,
You should be looking at the 3,000/30. Go to the third batch, the $30 pledge acrylic Panda, 3,000 units, and you'll see. I'm going to put it in green. That we would need to order 3,000 units, and we would have to hit $60,000 for us to clear $820.
wait, but no, I'm looking at the 1,500 units.
Okay, in the 1,500 units, there is no price point.
What's the first column? That's what I'm asking. The second one says Panda, but what's the first one?
That's the wood ones for Add Magic.
Got it.
So the acrylic ones are off the table until we hit 60 grand.
Okay.
Right? So maybe we'll get it printed to the edge. So the wood ones, I mean, the good news is that the wood ones, we can do a very short order of the wood ones, just 1,000 copies, and at a Kickstarter goal of 20,000, and we'll have a net of $2,900 left over after fees are taken out, shipping is all done, and delivery is all done. So that's.
But this doesn't count. This isn't counting like rules and playmats and stuff, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is the job complete.
It is?
Yeah, both quotes are. They are the job complete.
Quick question, as a complete side note, did they send samples to you of the?
Yeah, we had them in packs. I showed you guys the wood dominoes there.
I never saw it.
We saw the wood dominoes for the Add Magic wood dominoes.
Yeah.
We were playing around with them, Dan.
Yeah, and the Panda ones are supposed to come to my house mid this month. They're working on them right now. So we should get 2 acrylic ones,
Okay.
2 wood ones, and actually I sent them the art file for what it would actually look like.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have a really good representation of it from them.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, PAX is a bit of a blur, so I made it.
What's KS and MM?
Kickstarter and mass market. So usually, the reason that there's 2 different columns is like it should be ignored on the acrylic ones because I didn't bother doing it with it. When you're calculating it, a lot of times you're ordering like, let's say we had like a version of the game that Kickstarter backers got, and then a version of the game that like the version of the game with add-ons for Kickstarter backers. You know what I mean? Like a T-shirt or fucking whatever. You would calculate that price as the Kickstarter copies, and then you would calculate the mass market copies separately. But we're not doing that, right? We're not adding lots more stuff to it, so we don't need to do that. And you know, in reading stuff and listening to a couple things from, you know, there was a really great kind of video thing that Luke Crane did with like these students in the Netherlands when they had announced that Kickstarter was now open in the Netherlands about games and games Kickstarters, like the most popular price points and the ways of doing stuff, and just kind of they're making it simple is like really the way to go. And so like, here's the thing, here's the price, you get it, we're done. Like, because that's what, especially in games, that's largely what people want. They just want the thing. They want to be at the price point that gets them the thing. They don't want to support your stupid dream. They just want the thing.
It's so fucking true.
So that's great. It makes it more... I like that. It simplifies the process for us. We don't need to make lots of crazy stuff. We can just focus on making one really good thing. So, with the wooden tiles that we saw at PAX, and I believe that the discussion that we had at the time, I thought we were cool with those, and then...
I didn't mind the wood.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the wood at all.
I think that they're absolutely playable. They're going to give us that kind of weight, and yet not so heavy that they'll be expensive to ship. I think that they're totally playable, so much more so than if they were to just be cardstock. And then there's always the option of kind of upgrading it later on. Like if we do a second run of the game. That is not an infrequent thing.
I almost want to get my hands on, maybe I'll just like poke around Amazon some night to like see if I can find like a whole set of wooden dominoes, just like to touch like a bunch of them, because that was only 2.
Well, you're always going to find like the little black ones. Those are pine dominoes that have been like shellacked. Right? There's these skinny black ones that come in a long box. They're freaking ubiquitous. You go to like walk into any thrift store and there will be a set of dominoes there, and that's what they're going to be. They're the ones that I grew up, with my Ramshackle family playing. But that'll be very similar. Those will actually be a little bit lighter than what we're looking at, though.
And then these ones, the ones that are the wooden, they're I know I had seen something that you said, but are they painted on both sides?
Yeah, they can be. Yeah, and the quote is for that. So
Okay.
we would do 1 color on the back and then 4 colors on the front. 4 colors, just the term for the process. And 1 color is cheaper. I mean, it's really not, you can do 4 colors on the back, it's not going to really increase the cost, but there's no real reason.
No, it only needs to be 1 color. It just can't be the wood grain, because then there's going to be variations, and you could potentially pick out different dominoes.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna. I see what you're going for there. It's not going to be so much that it's really discernible.
Yeah, but it's enough.
But if there's I don't think there's going to be knots in it, or like real big dead giveaways. There will be some kind of a grain, but. If we do a solid color over it,
right? Exactly.
What I would say doing is do like if this was the back, do black over the whole back, and then cut out, like do a reverse, do a cutout of the symbol of the game or whatever, or like a P for pack the pack or PTP or whatever, so that you can identify where it's from, but you're actually masking most of that grain, so you can avoid that specific problem.
Yeah.
Especially if they do end up sending ones that have whorls or other telltale wood grain markings in it. It's interesting. I had never considered that before. But yeah, we would definitely do that.
It actually came up in one of my play tests. Because I pulled out the wooden dominoes in one of the play tests, and that was one of the issues that came up from one of the play testers.
Good. That's a great catch. Great catch.
I was like, oh yeah.
No.
No, I thought the wooden ones were fine.
Cool. All right. So then let's peg the goal at 20 grand. Let's assume we're going to do 1,000. I mean
Well, yeah, and I just want to keep running the numbers, because this is the printing, but we still need to get the quote for the rest of the art and stuff like that too.
Yes. Yeah.
And just make sure that, okay, so getting it all printed, but, make sure that the rest of the art can be, put in there, and just
that's what the shortfall is full. So like part of that would be like, part of the money we have before launching the campaign will go towards prototyping, marketing, and outreach.
Yeah.
And then part of the money that is after the campaign will go to pay for the rest of the art. And like once we know that we've hit goal, then Dave gets started on the art. We finalize all the products. We send it out to the printer. And then that shortfall money is used to kind of advertise it after the fact. Or if we're in a situation where if we're in a situation where we're halfway through, but we've met our goal, we might want to use some of that shortfall money beforehand to kind of try and race us up as high as we can go. Because the more copies, like once we start making jumps up, like the margins just get better and better and better. And
exactly.
One of the problems is that if we just do 20,000, the number of copies, if we just do 20,000 at $30 each, the number of copies we have left, if we sold them at a 50% rate of the game being like a 45 or what were we thinking was the final price point for the game? Like we're looking at.
No, I'm looking at. I'm not saying 30. I'm saying 35.
We make each pledge 35.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough sell for this game.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think it is. I mean, especially if right now you're saying that if the end game is even going to be higher.
No, the end game is obviously going to be higher. Like that's the whole point of Kickstarter is you're kind of giving people it at a discount. So like.
Not really. You're giving it to them. You're giving it to them without paying shipping. So that is the discount.
Yeah, that's
Flash
why.
wasn't any.
So if we did, this is exactly why we didn't do it right with Slash. Is that like right now at a $30 pledge, there's about $10 worth of shipping that goes into it, right? So they're paying 30, and then we're using 10 of that to ship it, which means that like they really have paid $20 and then nothing else. And theoretically, that $20 should represent 50% of the MSRP. So the MSRP should probably be between $40 and $45, which also kind of tracks with if the game is $8 to make, 8 times 5 is 40. Generally, your manufacturing cost should be a fifth of your MSRP. So if we could get the game in,
I've heard more.
it's like a range. I think depending on, I don't think I would sell this game in a store for 35. I think 40 is a good number for it because it's a heavy ass box, right? You're getting a lot of shit for it. I don't know if I'd sell
35 not being good.
Well, I don't know if selling it for 50 though would fly. I think that's too much. Like at 50,
no, I think a pledge for 35, and you're not paying the whatever. Like the shipping is $10, and then at a store is 40, or you buy it online and it's 40 plus 10 for shipping. I think that 35 is actually decent. Yeah, I mean Max. I don't want to go too much on what Max Temkin said, but Max Temkin said that a $50 pledge wouldn't be at all out of realm of possibility.
All right, well, that's something to consider. But there's another issue here. Like, regardless of whether it's 30 or 35, I think there's an argument to be made for both of them. The amount of copies that we have left over.
Yeah.
Right. If we assume that we are able to move all of those copies at the minimum rate, which is 50% of MSRP, right? Which is kind of what we're doing with all of our retail stuff. Then if we MSRP this game for $50, as you're saying, then we would only be making around $8,000 to $10,000, which is not enough to fund another run at 1,000 copies. It'll get the game out. It'll get the game done.
Right.
And it will pay us. It will be a profitable venture, but it will be not profitable enough to completely fund another run on it, which is, you know, a success, but not. It's a base hit. Like, we could do better than that.
Right.
Now, if we hit 25,000, I mean, I'm not saying that we should not do 20,000.
Yeah.
20,000 is our goal. When we hit 25,000, then we're in really awesome territory because we can go for 1,500 copies of the game, and then we'll have enough left over that we will be able to fund after we sell them. We will be able to fund another run, and that's kind of, you know, you always want to be doing that. You always want to be in a position that your inventory supports your second printing run, a third printing run, and then somewhere in there you find the money to keep the demand high enough to justify making those runs. So
Right.
yeah, so our bottom line goal is
Yep.
20,000. We're looking at $30 or $35 per as a target for pledges, and we're hoping to get 25,000. Acrylic is off the table until 60,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the next steps with this are to find more people to play the game with, and part of the playing the game with them is asking them what price they feel comfortable with it at. Like, if I handed you this box, how much do you think this box is worth? You know,
Right.
and if they're like $30, $30, we're going to need to do a little bit of reconsidering. Generally, I think people undershoot. You know, there's like a weird psychology to value of games. Like, you think a heavy box is worth more than a light box, even if the thing in the heavy box is crap. This is why, like, miniatures games on Kickstarters just fucking kick ass every single time, because people are getting a lot of shit. They like to see all that shit. And I think that's an opportunity. You know, that's really good for us, because we're gonna be like, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. You get 88. You know, you get all this shit, and you get a box, and you get to freaking put your dreams in there or whatever, and then light it on fire. So, like, I think, are you dying again, Dan?
No,
you turn red sometimes. I get very concerned.
No, sorry. I read the words Kobayashi Maru Orgy HD BitTorrent, and I was just like, huh? Sorry.
Great. So DashCon just paid us, so that's awesome. So I'm going to send out their stuff. So we are $55 away from being in the black.
Wow.
It's all happening.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all on the same page about pack-to-pack stuff at this point. We definitely have more playtesting and stuff to do, and we're gonna figure that the fuck out.
Saturday, Rogers Memorial Library.
Yeah, definitely make that happen. You have the other copy? Yeah, you still got the other copy.
Yeah, I do. You're not coming?
No, no, I'm not actually. I have to pick up a new puppy, and
Puppy games.
What?
Puppy schmuppy games.
No, it's my wife is gonna go pick up the puppy because it's her birthday present.
So she's gonna go pick it up.
Because I will be at a pet and person walk to save abandoned pets. So fuck you and your jerk attitude. I'm helping. What are you doing?
I'm gonna be playtesting our game.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. I don't know how many puppies our game saves, but I'm gonna be saving puppies by walking and raising awareness.
Like, puppies need saving. Everyone wants to save some fucking puppies, alright?
Awareness needs raising, and white people are the best at awareness raising. And nothing else, and doing nothing else. Okay, anyway, so that's what I'm doing on Saturday, so I'm not going to be able to make it on Saturday, unfortunately. But maybe something that evening would be cool. And then Eat That Corpse. Eat That Corpse, the art is off to the printer. We should see 6 copies of that back before the end of the week. 2 of those copies will go out to our patron backers, who are getting physical copies, and the other 4 I'm going to put up for sale. Well, 3 of the other ones I'll put up for sale. One of them is going to be kind of our house copy, and that's going to the Brookline Booksmith on the 19th because it was selected as one of the Indie Showcase games. So, good again.
Do we want to do a quick video about that?
Yes, yeah, we should. We should do that.
Right.
Let's maybe do that. Maybe that's exactly what we could do Saturday night, and I'll give you a copy. You can play test that one too. So there's that. Other news, you know how we have an intern?
Yes.
Like that's becoming quite legitimate. We will have a actual intern legally. Like her school has an intern program, and she wants to actually be the intern, do that intern program with us. And I'm
That's
like,
cool.
Awesome. I'm totally down for that. So it's basically she's gonna hang out in the playroom on a laptop, and I'm gonna work over here, and then I'm gonna yell to her to do other social media stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that's just finding people's contact information, which are like I have these kind of two big lists that I'm trying to build, and I'm just doing different stuff, so I never really get to focus on building them, and that's exactly what I want her to do. Just be like, you're gonna learn how to play the game called Excel.
Yay!
And you're going to make a kick-ass address book. But then also, it'll be really useful having her around because the next game for next month, I kind of need a teenage person's perspective to really kind of help develop the Cutter game. Like, and having another playtester here during the day will be aces. So hopefully that'll really increase like development productivity on my side.
Where was she when you were putting together all those boxes?
Yeah. Where was she when we were putting boxes? Yeah. Yeah. I kind of did the boxes like I do laundry, which is like I just make a giant pile and then I put on Bob's Burgers and just fold.
Bill Nye the Science Guy with Dean and Louise from Bob's Burgers, and that was awesome.
Yeah. I love Tina. Anyway, so
yeah, I do too. But still,
Yes.
Gene and Louise, like the real people, but we're awesome.
So I think that's all the upcoming news. I'd like to find a way to, like, going back to the DashCon, I think I'd like to find a way to get there. My concern, like, when I was kind of crunching the numbers on it, it's like, you know, there's the airfare prices, and, like, it's not the airfare that's even that bad, it's the hotel prices that fucking get you. So, I don't know. I'm trying to work. It's like an 18-hour drive, and I'm just like, I could do that. Do an 18-hour because the other thing is, like, shipping product out there is not free. I mean, it's not a lot, but, like, I was trying to do the calculation of, like, how much we would need to sell to make it worthwhile, and basically was like, we would need to sell enough to at least do 200% of the cost of traveling there, right? So even if traveling there costs like $700 round trip, like flight, shipping, crash on somebody's couch, right? Which that's about right. Then we'd need to sell 1,400, which means that we would need to sell whatever 14 times 4 is. We'd need to sell 56 copies, and then that would be 5 cartons, right? 5 times 12. Yeah, a little less than 5 cartons. Yeah. So ideally, we'd bring 6 cartons, and then if we sold all of that, it'd be good. But it's still like, it's still a trip. So could we move 60 copies there? It is a fucking Tumblr focused fan fiction focused convention.
When's the con?
Mid-July. It's actually at the same time as Gamer X, which is another, but that's much farther away.
Okay. Well,
this one would have a much better sell rate. Like Gamer X would be fun, but this one would actually.
Yeah, and one of the things I guess we could do to kind of like determine whether to do that or not, although it might take some time to really actually get the numbers back on it. But I was putting together the Tumblr, a lone/Tumblr blog with all of our old original microfictions.
Yeah.
And I was about to unleash that this week, and so we should have, hopefully, maybe we can tell by how often those things get retumbled or whatever the fuck they do on Tumblr. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to Mike about how you kind of track Tumblr usage, because it's odd. I mean, he mainly does like inbound analytics, but there might be something that can really be done where you're kind of trying to take the pulse of how your product is being mentioned on the other sites. But that, you know, do those translate into sales? I mean, I think we know that we have, with this game especially, a strong sell-through rate when we demo the game. Right? You play the game with people, especially people who want to demo it, and you get a sale pretty much every time you play that game. So it's just, how many demos can you do?
Okay. You know, let's do this on top of that. People have been sending in pictures of their relationships.
Yeah.
Let's like get those things, and we can
I think, yeah, totally, all that stuff. Like, just go, and you can go through the Twitter feed. I've been going back and forth with people on that. Like, I want to get them all up on the BGG site. I also really want to kind of increase our profile on BGG by having more reviews of Slash, and as we go through pack to pack, like, really make sure that people engage with it on that site, because it's a real, you know, keystone to the earned marketing effort. Wow, that was some marketing-ass bullshit marketing talk I just did.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. So yeah, I definitely want to be doing that thing. But I'd like to find a way to go to DashCon. I think it could be really good.
I think it's a solid opportunity.
It could be. I don't know if it's before or after PortCon. When is PortCon? Next month?
It's after. It's way after. It's in July. DashCon's the weekend after the 4th of July.
Okay, so
PortCon is the weekend of June 20.
Bye, Meg. Meg's back. So if you look at the stuff from the DashCon people, like they're like they want to, you know, if we come out there, they would give us a vendor table. They would set aside like time for us to run the game, and then they would advertise that we're running the game on Saturday evening. So I think that, you know, I think it's a good, like, they want us there. I want to get there. It's just a matter of whether it's possible or not. So I think that maybe, did you say it was that?
It's July, like, 11th?
Yeah. And when is PortCon again? Is it mid-June or late June?
June 21st.
I kind of want to see how well we do at PortCon before.
Yeah. I
mean, like, if we blow out at PortCon and do really good, because that's also, you know, that's a market that should do really good for us too.
It's okay. It's anime based.
Yeah.
Very anime. For PortCon.
Meg's frozen. She's a robot. Meg's a frozen robot.
Oh man, Frozen with robots? That might be awesome.
Frozebot.
Frozen Rim.
Rosebot.
Yeah, Rozone.
Frozen ice cream.
Robone. Robone Zone. Robozone.
Robots love ice cream.
What?
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
You
All right.
robots love ice cream.
For poor Con, do you want the hotel room or should I cancel it?
How much is the hotel room going to be?
I don't remember. It was just over 100 a night.
And we're looking at 2 nights?
I think so, but I don't remember. I might have only done. I don't remember.
No, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, really, it
You
means...
can also just do it for one night too.
all 3 of us are going, right?
I can't go. Remember, I can't go.
Dan, I am used to sleeping in my car.
I have to go to New Jersey.
That sounds great. I love that state. I do. That state's actually pretty nice. Dan, so do you want to...
Do I want to sleep in your car? No.
Why not? You can sleep in your car.
It's in Portland?
Yeah.
Maybe
In Portland. And so the hotel is where I reserved the room where the con is.
Okay, Dan, why don't we do this? Why don't we keep the hotel booking? Me and you will each pay half of it personally, and then the company will pay the other half. So we do like a 50% subsidy from the company.
It starts on Thursday? It's a 4-day con?
What? No.
That's
You're
what it
looking
says here on the calendar.
Yeah, but nobody goes then. It's Friday through Sunday.
Okay.
I think I reserved it Friday and Saturday. I might have only reserved it on Saturday, but I think I did it Friday and Saturday.
Okay, well, whatever the case may be, Dan, how do you feel about that? So it's basically 25% me, 25%
I reserved it
you.
because it sells out.
Okay, keep the booking for now, and if we can figure out something between now and then, that's awesome. If not, we'll figure something out.
So are you guys comfortable with 50% subsidy from our bank account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, that might be a way that we can kind of.
And now, and the other
soften
hotel.
stuff.
The other thing to remember too is Gen Con. So when you're thinking of bigger expenses, just remember Gen Con's in August, and that's going to be one of our bigger convention expenses.
Yeah, but we've already committed to traveling there, you know, road tripping it like madmen, and loading up the car with you know, like 12, 14 cartons or something.
Oh, that's the. What week is that in August?
The
First week or second week, I think.
No, this is second. It's like the 13th. Hold on.
Also, speaking of
You need
other.
to be there on the 13th, which is Wednesday, and it goes to the 17th, which is Sunday. I fly home on Sunday, but it still goes through on Sunday. It closes on Sunday like around 4.
Well, we also need to coordinate a lot of this stuff with Shari. You know, Shari might have, you know, I'll talk to her about it. She may have some way that we could freight some of it out, like if they're freighting a bunch of other stuff out. So that might change kind of the cost structure of it. Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I've already bought my plane tickets for that.
I've already bought my car that I will use to drive there. I have not bought the gas, though. Should I do that now?
They might not have gas in August.
It might not. Shit could go really south.
What day do we have to leave to get there? Probably Tuesday, right?
No, we want to be there by Thursday, right?
Yeah, so like what?
No, you need to be there Wednesday. Wednesday is set up. But you could, if you leave super early, but Wednesday is set up. It opens on Thursday at 10.
Yeah,
So when do we
just
need to leave?
Wednesday morning,
Wednesday morning.
like at the ass crack of dawn. So you need to take some time off.
I know. Well, that's not a problem. Oh, this is eating into my keys our week. Fuck. All right.
Kezar? What is Kezar?
That's my fucking lake vacation every year. But
Yay. More like Lake Gaycation.
God damn it. All right.
Gen Con is awesome, Dan. You're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, so much better than your lake.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you've been to this fucking lake. So
Let me guess. It has water.
it has water and wonderful sentiment,
Aww.
and it's secluded and it's quiet.
And it doesn't have us.
That sounds like Gen Con, except it doesn't have 40,000 smelly people. Why would you want
Right, it has beautiful naked girls serving me Bloody
but
Mary on the top. What can I say?
That sounds lame, dude.
Yeah, totally fucking lame.
You could be rolling dice and then...
You could be rolling dice with a bunch of fat bearded guys. Yeah, sure.
Yeah! Yeah! No, it's not all like that. It is fun. It's tremendous fun. Funny. You totally need to go. It's as fun as PAX is. It's just a completely different vibe.
I'm sure.
Gen Con's totally different than PAX.
Yeah.
Not totally different. I'm sorry.
No, but it is
totally different when it comes to nerd cons.
Yeah, but it is just as enjoyable. It's just different.
Yes, it's just it's a different enjoyable. It's a ton more game playing. It's like only the game playing side, not the other side at all.
Yeah. So
no video game side.
Really, like
at all.
I don't think I played any video games at PAX this year. No, I went to the Classic Arcade for like an hour. That's it. And I can just drive up to Laconia and do that. So anyway, that's the meeting for the week.
All right, I'm going back to Game of Thrones. Also, you guys should see some more stuff from me this week. Press releases are almost done, and yeah.
Oh, awesome! Press releases for Slash and for Pack to Pack, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So they're just general product press releases. That's
All right.
it.
I started to put up. I created a page for like where we can just put all our quotes and kind of reviews and stuff like that for Slash. We'll do the same thing for Pack to Pack.
Yep.
And then at some point later in the summer, we should consider moving everything.
Dan, did you?
Meg is like speaks in dubstep. We're just kind of like every once in a while there's a drop.
Sorry, go ahead, Meg.
The video storyboard.
Oh yeah. I gotta take a picture of that. I have them back here. I can draw them up and put them up on the blog. Well, minutes are going up tomorrow, right? I can put it on late tomorrow.
Well,
Sure.
at least send it to us. I just want to see it.
It's just what we talked about. It's terrible drawing in just like a kind of a half-assed script. So
That sounds awesome.
Okie doke. Yeah, so that's all I have. Oh, and actually, Meg, I'm probably going to send you some questions for the Pack the Pack press release. I just took old quotes for Slash, so that's not a big deal. But for you, I'll probably need quotes.
Yeah.
Okie doke. That's all I have.
All right, guys.
All right. See you later.
Have a good night.